一諗起呢個昆士蘭省咧，大家都諗起呢個陽光與海灘啦。不過咧，其實咧呢個地方咧都係孕育咧好騎師嘅好地方嚟㗎。事關咧香港嘅7屆冠軍騎師咧潘頓咧，正係咧嚟自呢個昆士蘭嘅。今日近期亦都有位騎師咧嚟到香港，更加咧可以騎到季尾喎。佢就係奧爾民啦。Hello Jimmy, welcome to Hong Kong. So can you introduce yourself in front of the camera?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm James Orman. I'm a jockey from Australia, and I'm here in Hong Kong until the end of the season.
So I think it's a kind of dream come true for you as a Queenslander to ride in Hong Kong. So can you tell us how do you feel, how you react when you receive a call from the Hong Kong Jockey Club?
A dream come true, really, to be here. I think it's every jockey's dream to ride in Hong Kong. It's probably the biggest stage in the world to be riding on. So definitely a dream come true, and sort of still pinching myself really. And I'm glad to be here to showcase my talents, and hopefully, I'm here to work hard and gain support from trainers and owners and build relationships. And I just want to do my best, and hopefully I can stay here for the long term. That's the goal.
So actually when I see you, I was quite surprised because you are taller than me, and as a jockey it's quite difficult at that height, and also how it's very hard to make weight. So what brings you to Hong Kong?
Yeah, I'm like you said, I'm a very tall jockey, so I'm probably one of the tallest jockeys probably in Australia, if not the world, I would imagine. There's a few others my height, but yeah, for me that makes me have to work harder on my weight, so that's probably why I'm so disciplined like I am. There's no going out and drinking or anything like that. It's just a full 24/7 routine to keep my weight in check so I can ride. So yeah, that's the. Unfortunately for me, I'm tall, so I can't ride the bottom weights, but there's still plenty of rides for me to have. And luckily in Hong Kong, like you said, there's still top weights of 135, and I can get down to 122. So the weight's not the end of the world, and luckily it doesn't go on height, it goes on weight. So we're all good.
I'm sure that you're really something special because even you are that tall, you still can just like become 3-time champion in Queensland, and this makes your profile that good and just like attract the club to call you to Hong Kong.
Yeah, I've been very consistent in Australia. So in Brisbane, I've been lucky enough to win the last 3 premierships. So that was an awesome feat. That was something I didn't think would be possible when I started out, and I just kept getting better and better, and I gained support off the leading trainers there, which made it a lot easier. And yeah, this is the next step for me. Hong Kong's the next step, and I was leading that championship until recently, so I've had to forego that opportunity to win 4 in a row to be here, but I'd never change anything for the world to be here. This is where I want to be, so I say, for now, put Brisbane on the back burner and focus on Hong Kong, and hopefully can kick goals here, and like you say, hopefully make Hong Kong home for a little while.
So I know that you're coming from racing background, so your mom is a trainer and your father is a jockey, was a jockey before.
My father was a previous jockey. He only rode for maybe a year or so. I'm not too sure, I haven't asked him, but he didn't have that many rides, only 13 winners. He got too heavy, but back then the weights were a lot lighter. Yeah. So he was unlucky. I'm lucky the weights are a bit heavier for me in this day and age. But yeah, so I've got a racing background. My mother trained, and she still does train now. She's got 4 or 5 in work, but when I was an apprentice to her, she had sort of 10 in work. So I rode a lot of winners for her, and they taught me everything I know about riding. I was on a horse when I was 2 years old riding, so I've had a good background. I learned to ride through pony club and show jumping and chasing cows around on horses and that sort of thing. So I've got that background behind me to transfer it to the racing.
As a youngster, and when we're growing up, there's a lot of choices. Then why would you like to be a jockey, stick with the jockey? You can be something else.
It's funny you say that, because growing up, that was all I was ever going to do, was be a jockey. And I heard everyone telling me, oh, you'll be too tall, you'll be too heavy, but I made it work. And I remember watching the races to this day, as a little kid, and just, idolising all the jockeys, and I knew one day I'd be out there riding, and that's what happened. And it's a dream come true to be even riding, let alone here in Hong Kong.
So you start riding when you are 16, and then you got your first winner in 2013, May 18, when you're riding in Nanago. So actually it's the third ride of you that day. Yep. So you are originally riding optimistic let me check.
Optimistic Angel.
Angel came third, and then you won on that horse. So how do you feel when you just like make it come true to win the first win?
It was a surreal feeling because I was still in school. I was a school kid, and you know, I finished school on the Friday, went to the races on the Saturday, and had 5 rides on my very first day, and rode, like you said, rode a winner on my 3rd ever ride. So I remember that, and it was just, I had my family there, which was awesome. My mum, my dad, family, friends, my brother, who's been a massive supporter of mine, and yeah, rode my winner and haven't looked back since. That was my career off and away.
What do you learn most from your mother? Because you are apprentice to her when you start riding, right?
Probably just to have good hands on a horse, be patient, and my mum and dad are good horsemen, so they've taught me not just, you know, things about racing, but, you know, breaking in horses and that sort of thing as well. So they're good horsemen, and like I said, they've gave me a great background for coming out here and riding.
And I checked some articles. Actually, when you were young, you are the champion in gymnastics.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that you are quite tall. And normally, just like it's quite funny because normally we think of the jockey and gymnastics, they're actually quite short, but you just like break all the rules.
Yeah, I break all the rules. Back then, though, I was actually small. I was a very small little fella, so I did gymnastics, and I think that gave me a good background. You know, background for racing because of the flexibility and
the balance, right?
Balance, flexibility, determination. Because there's skills that you've got to learn in gymnastics. So yeah, it was a good background for riding.
So we go back to 3 years ago when you won your first championship. So how important of your career?
That was a massive goal of mine to win that championship. I was fighting that championship out with a great Australian jockey called Jim Byrne, who's been ever so consistent. I think he's won a heap of championships himself. He's an older jockey, and yeah, that year I fought the championship out with him, and I rode that. I won that championship, and yeah, that was a career highlight at that stage. And yeah, I went on to win the next 2 and had great success in Brisbane.
And also, yeah, there's one season you have won more than 200 races, and also a highlight of your career, right?
Yeah, 200 in the one season. So I was riding sort of 4, 5, 6 winners a week, sometimes 8, 9 winners in a week if it was good. So it was a massive season. I really dominated that season and won the premiership quite easily. And like I said, I was getting great support from Chris Waller, Tony Gollan, all the leading trainers. So that makes, you know, as you know, in horse racing, if you haven't got the support, it doesn't matter how good of a jockey you are. So I was lucky to gain that good support of those good trainers, good owners, and yeah, that made things a lot easier to ride all those winners.
So now from 2013 until 2025, it seems that your career is quite smooth, but I'm sure that there's up and downs as well. So how can you overcome all the challenge, and what are the main challenges of you during your career?
Just see the light through the end of the tunnel. Like you say, it goes up, it goes down. But for me, the biggest reward for me is just to be riding. So I try to put all of the goals and that sort of thing aside. Like whilst I want to achieve everything, I'm happy to be riding, and anything on top of that's a bonus. And yeah, I just keep looking forward, you know, and trying to do better and better. And that's sort of worked for me because I've improved every year. I've improved. Yes. I started out in Anango, and then I've gone on to win the premiership in Brisbane, and now here I am in Hong Kong, starting from the bottom obviously, but I've already ridden a couple of winners, and I'm just looking to keep on building the confidence of trainers and owners, so they know that, you know, I'm a good jockey and they can have me on their horses.
Yes. So when you talk about your career, so what's the most important or memorable victory so far?
I've had a lot in Queensland. Obviously, the 3 premierships as a career highlight. I've won on horses, Nicanova, Antino, all great horses. Command and Conquer, I've won a heap of races on him. He's a horse that actually came here to race under Naboo Attack. So I used to ride him, and he was a promising horse until he unfortunately had that accident here. So yeah, horses like that have been career highlights, winning on those horses.
So I think because you are coming from a very well-grounded background, and you're just like when you grow up, it's very simple, just like horse riding, or maybe go to the gym. So it make you very focused in your career as well.
Yeah, it does. Simple life, and I've still got a simple life now.
So if you have a chance to give some advices to some young jockeys that they want to be a jockey, what would you like to?
Just believe in yourself, and anything's possible. You know, I got told thousands of times I'll be riding for 2 years and I'll have to retire because I'll be too heavy. But I've got very good determination. So if I want to do something, I'll make it happen. And that's why I've been so dedicated with my weight to ride. So believe in yourself. Don't listen to what other people say. If they say, you know, you'll be too heavy, or don't listen to that. You just do what you think's right. Try and ride every race as best as you can, and just do your best. That's all you can do.
So when you come to Hong Kong, actually it's quite tough. You know that Hong Kong attract all the best jockeys racing together, and it's very difficult if you cannot get a winner in the first few meetings. Luckily, you get the first winner not long after coming to Hong Kong. So can you share with us how you feel that, is that just mission completed when you're winning the first race?
I didn't say mission completed, but I said mission started, I guess. It was good to get a winner, and I've got to thank Ricky Yu for that, because he put me on 2 winners early on, and for him to do that, it really helped me build some support from more trainers. So very appreciative of Ricky Yu for that. He's a great trainer, and yes, building some more relationships now with some trainers, and I just got to keep doing it. But yeah, that was a big thrill to ride that winner at Happy Valley. It was, you know, it drew out wide. I think it drew barrier 11 of 12 or 10 of 12. Rail was out a little bit, come from back off the speed, and it was too good. So that was, yeah, everything was against us that night, and we still won. So it was great. And then to come back out and win again here at Sha Tin was awesome. So yeah, from now I feel like I've ticked a few goals, but I've still got lots more goals to tick here, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure that you do your homework before the race, because I remember after the race in Ricky Yu's interview, he said, you just study the form, do exactly the same what he told you. So it makes you how you become have a longer contract here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, well look, as a new jockey, I've got to spend a lot more time doing form because I'm not used to the horses. So I spend a lot more time than what I would at home, just to study and have a bit of an idea of how I think the race will unfold. When those gates open though, if something goes wrong, I ride the race to how I feel is going to suit. But yeah, myself and Ricky got off on a good start, so I'm hoping that can continue. And yeah, like I say, I think that's a big thing here. You've got to do your form, you've got to know the horses, you've got to know the jockeys to follow, and you've got to know the courses, A, B, C, how to ride the races. And I feel like I know a lot of those things now, and now it's just about getting on the right horses and riding winners.
So far, what was the biggest lesson you have learned in your career? Do you have any motto that keep you motivated in your life, or someone advised you something that you remember until now?
One thing someone told me when I first started out was to just listen to what everyone tells you, and whether you believe it or not, or whether you agree or not, listen to what they've said, and take on what you want. You know, if someone says, you know, use the whip in the right hand, try it. But if you don't like it, you know, change. Take what you want on, and then digest that. Yeah, but don't make sure you listen to what everything someone has to say. It doesn't matter who it is. Listen to what they have to say, and if it works for you, you do it. If it doesn't, you've tried. And yeah, so mainly that thing. Just whatever people have to tell you, listen and try and make it work.
So that means you are such a good listener.
Yeah, good listener. Try to listen to what everyone says. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, can you, if you have a chance, can you name 3 people that you would like to say thank you?
My mum, my dad, and my manager, Glenn Courtney from home.
Yes.
They're the 3 people that have been great for me. Maybe Kelly Schreeder as well, great trainer in Brisbane who I ride for. Chris Waller and Tony Golan also. But yeah, mainly my mum, my dad, and my manager.
So now you are getting the contract riding until the end of the season. I'm sure that you would like to just like keep your career in Hong Kong and get another contract for next season. So what's the goal or any races you want to win one day? I watched one interview that you mentioned Melbourne Cup, but now in Hong Kong, so maybe the Hong Kong Cup.
Maybe the Derby on Sunday. That would be good. I know this will be out after the Derby, so hopefully I can win the Derby on Sunday on California Totality. But yeah, everyone wants to win the Melbourne Cup, and like you said, the first goal was to get extended here to the end of the season, so I've ticked that, and now I've got to ride some more winners so I can get a contract next season.
Yes. So how do you see yourself in 3 years?
Hopefully riding winners and enjoying life, and just enjoying life, riding winners, and I think they're the main two things: enjoying life and riding winners.
Last but not least, so how can you balance your life and your career and your family, because you have two beautiful children? So just like how you just like build up as a model to them?
Yeah, I'm a role model for them, so I've got to do the right things, and that's why I like Hong Kong, because we're racing here twice a week. I've got a lot more time with the kids and my wife Heidi, so that's why I like Hong Kong as well. But yeah, just got to balance that lifestyle with my riding and the kids, and yeah.
I think they're the powerhouses, the best supporter to you. When you have a winner, they share your happiness. When you just have no winner, then at least when you get home and then they give you a hand, and then actually it's the best.
Yeah, that's it. That's what life's all about. Watching the kids grow up, and that you come home and they say, "Did you ride a winner?" Yes. Or "Did you ride a winner?" No. They still love you either way. Doesn't matter. So that's what life's about.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best and ride more winners, and hopefully the big ones in Hong Kong.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.